another episode of Shaddi Tea in the Major Community. I'm your girl, Lady Jazz, where I always bring you the latest tea in this community, hunty. Baby, I don't know how I should start this off because my emotions is all over the place. We have talked about stuff that has been going down in the major as of late that has been going down in the major community. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. Um, I wasn't at this competition, so I do not know the ins and outs of actually what happened as far as then who started what. I just know that I've talked to the judges, I've talked to um, the team, one of the teams that was involved. I did not speak with the other team, but I did invite them on to be able to tell their side of what actually took place because it's their side, one another side, and then it's the truth. And somewhere in between, we have to come to a median and understanding. Now, I'm going to just do a few house rules. I am going to bring everybody on at once. Um, if you are muted for any reason, that is because I started seeing stuff go left. So we need to make sure that I know people's emotions. This just happened last night, so I know people's emotions is high, and I'm gonna let y'all get it out. Oh, that is ghetto. I just saw that. Girl, no. I just bought this hat and it's already the tag all on it. That's not cute. Um, but yeah, so I want to make sure that we have a clear understanding of how today's live is going to go because I definitely don't want this to get out of hand. I know, like I said, people's emotions, there's tensions that are high, but I want to still make sure that we keep the stream as clean as possible. Let everybody be heard and understanding what is going on. I'm just here to moderate and I'm here to fill in the gaps, basically, to ask questions and try to see what can be done because evidently, yeah. So I have one of the judges I see that's in the waiting room. I also see Dynasty All Stars, which was the team that was involved in the altercation, as well as the director of the other team with the altercation that took place. If you guys are watching the live video, sharing the live video, make sure you do that for me. Share the live video, tag the live video, invite to the live video because this needs to be addressed. We need to hold on, let me see. Okay, they said make it public so they can share it. It is public. I start seeing people already. It's public. It's public for everybody. Oh, excuse me. It's friends only. Sorry. Now it's public. Sorry. It's public now. So I'm going to bring everybody on so we can get, like I said, I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to start with the judge. And then we're going to trigger down to the situation that took place afterwards. So we have Mr. Joshua Branson. We also have Dynasty All Stars. And then we have Miss Fallon that has came on. Let me do this right quick. As you guys are talking, I'm going to toggle through. Make sure I have this right. Okay. So thank you guys so much for coming on and wanting to pretty much put the business out there for the Shaddi Tea and major community, as well as the major community, to find out what actually happened last night. I'm going to only rightfully start with Joshua because he was one of the judges. He was on the judges panel, and he's going to have more of an insight of actually what took place both inside and then what you're going down to what the incident happened at night. So Joshua, it's on you. So basically, what I was told was that by talking to the judges and the coach, was that there was a discrepancy. Basically, Fallon felt like some of the judges on the judges panel was being biased towards their team, and she felt some type of way. And this is hearsay. This is something that she was told, and I'm not sure. I'm not placing the blame on nobody, but evidently she got this from the producer of the show. This is a producer of the show that evidently did not know how to control her show. She was changing rules. Evidently, there were rules that were changed, and it just tipped some teams that paid money off because people were ready to go there with the person. So I'm gonna let you have the floor, and you just kind of give me just the overall draft of what actually happened last night.
Okay, so
you gotta talk so we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, talk now. I just want to make sure we can hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? We can hear you. It's still slight but we can hear you.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously it was 5 judges on the panel. You heard me?
Josh, are you
Y'all
connected to Wi-Fi?
yeah.
Okay, try to take it off of Wi-Fi because you're you're choppy. Like I can see Fallon and Dynasty All Stars clearly as they move, but yours is like kind of choppy.
Hello.
We can hear you, Josh.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It just I don't know if you have it set on something to where the mic is covered up. It sounds very very.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is this better?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So basically, it was 5 judges that sat on the panel. I only knew of 3, well, including myself. So me, which has an extensive background in majorette dance and dance in general, Kevin Stevenson, and Keisha White, both who have teams and who have an extensive background in dance as well. I don't even know the names of the other 2 ladies, and that's not to be shady or anything like that, but I don't know them. It was my first time ever seeing them. And they kind of expressed at the beginning of the competition that this was their first time ever doing something like this before. They've never sat on a panel before. So me being me, I'm like, what do you mean? Because at competitions, judging is a very serious job. So you kind of have to know what you're talking about, what you're doing. So then we told them, they were like, so how do we judge this? And I'm like, the teams come out, they present their routine, you critique them based off of the following categories. So the girl was like, Kevin was like, yes. And the number one thing that you have to do is if you're going to take off points, you have to criticize or critique them as to why and explain why you took those points off. One of the judges was like, one of the girls was like, wait, we got to put critiques down? I turned to Keisha, I said, Keisha, there's going to be some shit. Lo and behold, it was some shit. So as we're going throughout the competition, everybody's doing a really great job within their routines, but it is brought to our attention, and I think it was commentary in the background trying to understand because there was a walkthrough, tag team with a coach and a captain, then there was creative, and then stands. So nobody had any questions throughout the first category. Everything was fine. We then move on to coach and captain, and Flaming Hitters, which is Fallon's team, comes back on the floor, and there's Alaska, of course, and then another young lady. I don't know who she is. So there's chatter in the background, like, and this is literally in the stands, like, wait, who's the coach and who's the captain? And so some of the other judges said the exact same thing. And I'm like, I mean, I know Fallon and I know Alaska, but I don't know the extensive details of their team. So me, Kevin, and Keisha, because we all sat by each other, we're like, I guess we got to figure this out before we proceed, because if anybody's going to have any questions, we don't want them to think that there's any shady business with us. So then we called Jamie over to the table, and we're saying, hey, Jamie, can we figure out, because there's been chatter about who's the coach and who's the captain and how that kind of flows or whatever, because we don't want people questioning us, making us feel like we're bending or breaking the rules for anybody. So then Jamie was like, well, in my packet, it says a coach and a captain. She said that her coach is 18, and obviously, Alaska's the captain, but we also know she's the head coach too. So we pull up her packet, and it has no age discrepancies in that category or in any category. So it basically was like, okay, well, they're still within the rules. So we then say, all right, you said it, they're within the rules, good to go, and that's it. As the show is progressing, it was just a rough show all around, and that's just the fact. Like, from the host not really knowing how to carry the show to 15,000 intermissions, it was a rough show all around. So everybody's becoming irritable. It's standby time. It is what it is. Teams are performing, and then at some point in the show, there was things going on. I don't know what was really occurring on with the team in Next Level and the host, but like they're literally out there like going back and forth on the floor.
Now, when you say going back and forth, what do you mean when you're saying going back and forth? Like, are they like dancing back and forth, or are they
No. I think the director from Next Level and the organizer of the show were literally arguing on the floor.
About what?
I have no clue. I wasn't
there about the rules being changed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because a team, if I'm not mistaken, a team had to leave to go to Philadelphia. So I think there was some discrepancies on her not really adhering to what the package said about how many stands was being thrown, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes, and about the timing, because she said her bus had to be out of there because she told us the show was gonna be over by 7, and around that time it was 8 something, about to be 9.
Okay.
So it's literally like you can literally see coaches, all of them, I think, becoming irritated because every time we turned around, there was a new rule or a rule being changed. And so as she would change the rule, she would come to the judges' tables and would say, "Hey, the coaches want to do this, but it's up to the judges." And we sit up here like, "This is your show." So,
So
we would have to.
what I'm understanding is that basically this individual Janie, y'all said she's thrown on shows before, but evidently she doesn't know what she's doing. She had stuff in her packet that she wasn't abiding by. There was stuff that was left out of her packet that was not clear. It definitely sounds like she doesn't know what she's doing, which in turn obviously made some people upset. Now I'm just going to say this, just across the board, hearing a child being jumped on in a major in something that we're trying to hold on. Let me just make sure I put this out for everybody so they understand what I'm saying. You guys, this shit has to stop. It just has to stop. There is a ban that is going to be taking place. I'm going to be blacklisting teams because the simple fact is, though, whatever the judge. First of all, let me before I even go into that. People that's throwing on shows that ain't got no business throwing on shows, it's evident. We know people throwing on shows to get money, to do whatever case may be. We know that. There is nothing that is in place to tell you guys whose show to go to, who's not to go, whose show not to go to, whose show to look out for, whose show not to look out for, whose team should somebody accept at their show, and whose team they should not accept at somebody's show. We have to start putting stuff in place, and it's in the works of doing this. But to hear a child being stomped out at a show that's supposed to be a safe haven for kids it's beyond me. And it's to the point where it's like, when is enough is enough? Until somebody gets killed, until somebody's going to somebody's child's funeral because of something that happened at a kid. Y'all not even taking in consideration these people that's letting y'all have these venues. This word is spreading fast. And before y'all know it, y'all not gonna have no place to take your kids to go and compete because they're not gonna keep allowing this stuff to go on in a city. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let Fallon tell her side because evidently her and Dynasty All Stars have been going back and forth. I've been reading the comments, I've been seeing what was being said on both parties, and yes. So Fallon, you stated in the comments that you were inside in the director. From what I was told, you was already upset, and you were saying that you were not going to leave the competition until someone answers your questions, or until your questions are answered. So, what were you exactly upset about?
I was upset about the rule change and the packet. It was never about another team. I went to the director came to me, well, the host of the show came to me and made it as if the two judges from my city, from the city that my team was in, was biased towards my team. So in the back of my mind, that was already there. Like, well, why? Because I haven't had a problem with Josh in a million years, it seemed like. And me and Kevin never have had one. So I'm like, okay. I go back to where I was sitting at. 2-3 minutes later,
One
Kevin
second.
and Josh come and hug me.
1 second. Can someone send me the flyer to my inbox of this show? Because I want to make sure I post it. Go ahead.
I got you, sis.
Okay. So then I'm inside talking to Josh and Kevin and Keisha about the packet. And we finally come to an understanding of what was happening. Where he just said he asked a question, but it was presented to me because she came to me and said, come out in the hallway, but don't let nobody see you coming to talk to me.
Who said that?
Jamie. So I go out in the hallway and I'm like, yes. She was like, the two coaches from your city feel like your captain and your coach shouldn't be able to do the duo, but it's my show, my rules, so I'm gonna do it. I said, well, I asked you before I entered your competition, was it okay? Because my captain and my coach are basically minors, like 18, they can still dance. Was it gonna be a problem? I said, and you told me no before I sent the money for to be in your show. She said, yeah, that's why. She said, I'm just letting you know so you can keep a watch on it. And I'm like, okay. I go back and sit down. I tell my girls, just go dance. At the end of in the packet, at the beginning of the thing when we got the packet, she told us that walkthrough wasn't being judged. It was just going to be to show your team, and they were going to judge on uniform, and you would get a cash prize. A week before competition, we was told it's being judged. So we were thinking, okay. I was like, okay. So at the end, when they tallied up all the scores, they said in the beginning, in the packet, it said that we were being judged off stands, creative, and duo for the overall score. When we get to the competition and we at the award ceremony, she say it's walkthrough, duo, and creative.
So once again, we are faced with someone that's changing rules.
So at the end, I'm asked after I was upset because I felt like if you telling us one thing and you want us to follow rules of a show, don't you think you should follow the rules of a show? It was your show. So I go and get my girls and tell them to get their stuff so they can leave out. I go back in the gym, and that's when I go into up to Josh and them. I said, I don't want to leave open-ended. Like, I don't want to leave here angry. I want to get some understanding about what's going on. So they explained it to me. As they explained it to me, we all walking out at the same time because Janie walked away in the middle of the conversation. And then her excuse was, I didn't ask who the judges was at the show. I don't feel like that's a question that that you should have to ask. Because you should
Wait,
have
wait. What she said?
She said, I didn't ask who was the judges at the show. I didn't know I had to. So we're all walking out. As we're walking out, it's a big commotion at the end of the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I see people in my gear, in our gear. So I run down, along with Josh, Kevin, and everybody else. I run down. One of my parents and another parent was at the car. I'm like, what's going on? What happened? I'm trying to push my parent back. I get hit. In the midst of me getting hit, I will not get on anywhere in life. I hit back. But out the corner of my eye, I see my daughter and another team member of the other team. They over there fighting, but it's so many adults over top of them. I'm going over there to try to get to my kids.
Your adult. What it was your adult. No women.
It was women and it was a man with the blue and white shirt on.
Okay.
Because the man with the blue and white shirt, that's who hit me.
Be quiet.
Okay.
So I go over there and I'm trying to pull to get to my kid, and they was like, she got my teammate, and I was like, and you got hers. They had each other's hair. It's fights going on all around. I never knew who was fighting who.
So this
This
was my question. This is my question.
Mm-hmm.
Because what was brought it to me was that while the commotion had already started, evidently when you were in there talking to Josh, they stated that DAD was still inside. I'm trying to put the puzzles together. DAD was still inside celebrating for 30 minutes after everybody cleared. Y'all were the only team that was still left outside, as though y'all were waiting for them to come outside.
No, we had to go and clean the room that we were in.
And that's
I was
another
in.
thing that was told too about the room. After I guess y'all trashed the room, they went and cleaned it back up, and then your team went right back in there and trashed the room. This I'm just saying this is what was
No,
told to
that's
me.
a lie. They cleaned the room up.
I can tell my part of the story because
And like when it happened, I wasn't there. So my daughter is here because she was outside when it happened in the beginning.
so when we was outside, it was one of the parents by the car and my mom and my auntie. I was walking past down to go see where my mom was at because she was obviously in the building talking to Mr. Josh and Mr. Kevin. So I'm looking for her, me, my brother, and everybody's looking for my mom. And when I'm hearing they're disrespecting my aunt, so I tell them don't
Who is
disrespect my aunt.
there? Who is they?
The team that I was fighting.
So let me ask you this, baby. Let me ask you
Yes,
this. What actually happened? Because if you're telling me that they are disrespecting, if they just won grand champion, there had to have something said from somebody
they
to
didn't.
antagonize another team for the team to react like you guys are
No,
saying. So
she said, well, the girl was like, it was a girl, and she said her sister and her mom was like up the hill, but it was her mom, it was her sister and her, and they were talking. They was like, they're just mad because they didn't win grand champion. They're talking about good sportsmanship, where it's at now. And my auntie said something. She said, we have good sportsmanship. We cheered y'all on. And I said, right. And she was like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your sister. I'm talking to my sister. And I said, don't talk to my aunt like that. And she was like, and what you're going to do? So I popped off my shoes. And I said, we ain't finna do this, but if you want to get rowdy, we can get rowdy. And she was like, okay, Ian.
so again, I'm gonna stop you right there, baby. I'm gonna stop you right there. When is it okay for y'all to just walk away from a situation? Because I'm gonna tell you what you just said. With y'all having an exchange of words back and forth, you popped off your shoes like you were basically going to come after her.
I wasn't
So,
coming after
so
her
again,
because she was walking up. That's what I was trying to tell you. She was
but that's what
walking
I'm
up.
saying. How easy is it for it to be like all this could have been avoided had y'all would have just said, you know what, y'all won grand champion, y'all got it, whatever, y'all got it, and y'all could have walked away. But instead, we are faced with a situation where children are going back and forth with adults and vice versa, and we're left with a situation to where someone got hurt.
Excuse me now. I wasn't arguing with the adult. I was arguing
No,
with.
no, I'm not. I didn't say you.
She didn't say
So
you.
I didn't say you. I'm just saying in general. Something was said to your aunt. It made you say something to her. Then you next thing you know, you said, "Well, what you trying to do?" Like that is an antagonizing situation that resulted into not only you getting yourself into a situation, but other parents getting involved to the situation as well, where it ended up in a brawl. So y'all have to see where the connection is with this. Y'all are going to get it to the point where they're not going to allow y'all to go and compete nowhere. There is being stuff being put in place for teams now to where we're starting to blacklist teams. To where if y'all keep on doing the stuff that you guys are doing, y'all not going to have a competition to go to. Is it really worth that? Is it easier for y'all to just walk away from a situation? Yeah, y'all want like I would not argue with anybody that won grand champion, whether if it was by the judges or whether if it was by somebody screwing up the score sheets, whatever the case may be. Okay, and so what? It's y'all decision if y'all decide to go back to that competition or not. But for y'all to sit there and have words that ended up in a 13-year-old child being stomped to the ground, jumped on by whoever, that's what's crazy to me.
I was the one getting jumped.
No, ma'am.
I was. It was a man who punched me on the side of my face, and it was a whole bunch of people behind me pulling my hair. I was the one getting jumped. The
Ma'am.
girl, I had her on the ground. Wasn't nobody doing nothing to her. They were hitting me.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my rule is I'm the team mom. My rule is I don't talk to kids. That's how this,
Okay, I'm back on the phone.
Okay.
our team rules are kids deal with kids, parents deal with parents, coach deal with, so that's why I didn't
You
want
true.
to say anything too much. But from the beginning, I judges the score sheet. Remember, I lead it to the kids. I'm not a coach. I lead it to the coach. But it ain't even what more so happened before we actually went when it was action. I had a child come in like
I'm trying to get somewhere where I can hear you. I'm sorry. Okay.
A child came to me. I'm coming, like I said, the janitor came like, you guys have to get out. I understand y'all celebrating, but you guys have to get out. This building is closed down. So we like, we are
Okay.
on. As I'm walking out the doors, there's a like my sister's about to fight. Can you help her? I said, who? When I get to her, she like, I telling her, leave me alone, leave me alone. So I'm like, y'all okay? It's kids, y'all okay? When I get down there, it's an adult. So that's when I say, step to the side, because now this is an adult talking to a child. I got this. So when I told the parent, these are kids, she was like, so what? Your kids being respectful. I said, to my kids, if they're kids, let them have that bickering argument. But what I do not condone is a grown adult getting in my baby's face. My niece is the captain of that team. She was the one that was jumped. I had to go under people and hover over my baby so she would not be hit. I have hair missing. I have bruises on my back. I was kicked. I was stumped. I have scrapes on my knees trying to protect my child. So when again, it like we heard gunshots going off and everything. I don't care. I kept hovering because that's what me. If a bullet hit, it hit me. I have to protect my child. I didn't even know it was my niece until we got up. I seen our uniform on the ground.
That's the same thing I saw.
Can we stop right there?
Yes.
Fallon,
Yes.
I'm going to be transparent with you.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the first time we've heard about this.
I'm
not gonna go into technicalities because you know where I'm going. This is a second incident that we have heard that a gun dealing with someone around you has been either pulled or at this now point has been set off.
Well, it was not me. We was running from the gun as well. It was pulled on my son.
But the only two teams that was out there was you and TDAD.
It was pulled on my son. So nobody from my team is going to pull a gun on my kid. It was pulled on my child.
So you said a gun was pulled out on your son, and
a gun was pulled out on my son.
So I'm just making sure I want to get this.
No, it's not a lie. It's the truth.
So
no, I'm asking.
I'm
asking.
To your child?
Huh?
So when you say pulled out, it was pointing to your child?
Yes, it was pointed at my child, and my sister stepped in front of him. So
your sister was hit.
Which one was it?
So someone was hit by a bullet. I'm just saying.
No, not hit by a bullet. I didn't say shot. I said pulled out.
Okay, so I'm saying if it was pulled out and a shot went off, it had to hit something. If your
shot, they said the shot was in the air. I'm talking about. I heard the shot in the midst of me trying to get my daughter out the pile, as well as you were saying you were hovering over yours. I was trying to get my daughter out the pile.
No, you punched me. No, you punched me. You punched me in my head when I was trying to get to my baby. Yeah,
I punched you in your head when y'all had my daughter hair wrapped up in y'all hand and was over top of my kid. Y'all had both of my girls on the ground, not just one.
Wait. I just want to say this. It honestly, and I'm not going to take away from nobody, but I think that it was a lot of fights occurring at the exact same time. So I just want to make sure we're not taking away from anybody. Anybody saying anybody wasn't, it was literally both teams.
What initiated everything. I was that parent. This is when it initiated how it started. Exactly. So when, like I said, when I step in front of a child, step back because it's an adult thing now. I don't want to talk to nobody's child. I don't want to talk to nobody's coach. That's for my coach to do. I'm a parent. I'm the team. You talk to me. But by this time, it was two adults in a child's face. And when I approached her about it, she didn't back down. She didn't care that she was talking to a child. So now you have those words together. Step back. I'm here. I'm going to help. I'm here to help for you. So when that all hell, like I said, my sister had her issue. Everybody fighting. When I look to the right and I see my uniform on the ground, I go straight to the ground. It won't no fighting. It won't no hitting no child. I'm trying to cover over. I'll take the hit. So I cannot agree with someone pouncing on the child. If you seen that, that's fine. You can have that. But I'm protecting one of our kids. Just so happened when the baby got up, I realized that's my baby. I don't treat no.
So let me make sure. Let me because I see Janie's on, which is a person that threw the competition on. Janie, I'm gonna say this. I see you in the comments. You can inbox me. I can send you the link to come on the StreamYard as well. from what it sounded like, is your competition was the start of everything that took place at the end. So you are more than welcome to come on and state your side of how you feel, because evidently both teams were affected. And it was because of your rules or lack thereof. So, DAD, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rhonda. So as everyone, after I'm done hovering over my child, and she said, "No, you guys jump me." I said, "You go get in the car. We're leaving." I see in another car, where outside of her car, hitting her taser, trying to tase my 11-year-old.
Exactly.
My 11-year-old boy at that.
I know we didn't know that. We wasn't down there. We
I'm not saying that you are to know that, but I'm just letting you know from my standpoint.
Yes.
And where I'm coming from as a parent, my little boy, he's here. He's 11 years old. A lady, grown woman, ripped out a taser, about to tase him.
She sure did.
What the hell do you expect a parent to do in that situation?
defend their kid.
And that's exactly what my parents did. That's what we're supposed to.
That's what any parent's supposed to do.
Exactly.
I get that.
But what I'm saying is what initiated. You know, you fight, you do your thing. But what initiated it was when I see two parents in a child face. I don't play that. Period. We don't play that in house. We're not gonna play it when we go somewhere else. Period. I have had.
So this is. I just brought Kevin. Kevin is actually one of the other judges, and there was also something. Now I'm play devil's advocate in this space because there's a lot of people is involved evidently. So I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate. But there was also stating to the effect of there were some LGBT disrespectful slurs that was made about the judges, talking about as well as boys on the team, talking about why is y'all allowing these faggot boys to judge a show? Why are you allowing these faggot boys to dance against girls? And it was coming from your supporters, Fallon.
Well, it came from her mouth.
When did it come from my mouth, Reese? When?
It came from your mouth, but I'm gonna put one person on that can validate that.
But please do.
If you are so against gay people,
I'm not against gay people.
Well,
that's the whole problem.
No. And the thing is, if you're against gay people, at the end of the day, if you state that, why in the hell do we got gay people out here dancing like that, women or whatever you called it?
Mister, when Mr. Josh said something to our little boy that used to dance that was gay, my mama stood up for him.
When they said Josh said something, didn't I defend Corey when they said you said that, Josh? I've never, when they said you, I'm not saying you did. When they said it was said.
No.
Did I not? First of all, Reese,
it is.
I didn't say anything to you about anybody being gay. The only time I said anything about the LGBT was when you came at me in the messages, in the group message, and you called me a fat bitch. And I said, you're acting like a faggot. I did to you, not to the judges, to you.
Come for your way. And you comment about his way. Again, this is a moment where like that can go.
My thing is, it was a tit for tat. It was childish as hell. I'm grown enough to say that. It was childish for us to go back and forth on social media because I could have talked to you directly, but I never told you. You came for me in a group chat, so I responded in a group chat. I'm so sick of we're going to say that Fallon did this or Fallon did that because she's passionate about something she do. I didn't come for you. My problem wasn't with you. I can't control what parents were doing where I was inside.
Fallon, no. Let me say this, Reese. Let me say this. Give me a second, because that's where you got it wrong. Fallon, you are the director. Okay?
Yes, but I can't control what they're doing outside.
Wait a minute. You are the director. Okay.
He should have moved.
Y'all give me a second.
Right.
I am a director. I have control over my parents. I don't give a damn how many girls I lose. Mm-hmm. My name, my brand, and my reputation is way more worth than having some parents that cannot control their emotions, that cannot control their kids.
Mm.
Y'all had this is where we've come to with these competitions. People getting upset over, once again, placements and a piece of plastic
Right.
that ends out into someone getting hurt. You are the director, Fallon. You are the person that is supposed to be the level-headed one out of everybody. So if they don't respect you enough as being the director to sit there and have a hold on their emotions, why are you even keeping them? What like I've said before,
I didn't even know it was happening.
it doesn't matter, Fallon. It's still your parents that is involved.
But it wasn't just me. You know, you can't fight. It wasn't just my parents.
But your daughter came right up here and said, I took off my shoes and I said, what's up? That was the start of a fight to break out.
If someone walks up in your personal space, that's also the start of a fight.
She could have, look, again, like I told her, how it's so easy for her to walk away. They didn't put her hands on her.
She didn't put her hands on them either.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't, you playing tit for tat in a situation where it could have easily been avoided. Then we come to a situation where the gun is, and I'm hearing about a whole son being a gun. So you're telling me someone pointed a gun at your son, and instead of hitting your son, they pointed in the air and started going off.
No, they shot first in the air, and then he pointed it at my child. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say anything about them shooting and pointed at him and shooting in the air. No, that wasn't the case. They shot in the air. When my son said, "Why y'all pulling out guns on females?" He pointed the gun at my son. My sister stepped in front of him.
So we don't know who this person is. It didn't come from
they weren't on our team. I don't know who they were.
That's what we've been trying to figure out too, though. Because even me, Kevin, and Keisha, like whenever we were trying to no shade to Kevin and Keisha, they did not hop in that, and I don't blame them. But for me, whenever I seen them fighting, it's like, okay, this is too far. But we were all trying to figure out, because I ain't never seen the person with the gun. So Kevin has said it himself, like, we don't know who that person was. But the gun didn't just go off once.
No.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a familiar face.
And I can't tell you exactly who had the gun. I know it was a man with a red shirt. That's all I can tell you.
And my little kid, and
one of my dancers was standing right there beside him, and her mom jumped over there to grab her when he shot in the air.
And
okay,
I have read, so I mean, I don't.
But we weren't the only one. We weren't the only ones that was outside, because a couple of teams called to ask were we okay on the way back.
I mean, because and a couple of teams called us as well because it happened. But again, listen, after the competition, we were still inside celebrating, trying to do TikToks, doing what girls do.
Yeah.
In the parking lot, to be clear. Right. Like, if you I'm not trying not throwing no shade, but what are you still lingering around for? If it's time for
I was inside talking to Josh. I wasn't lingering around. I didn't know the rest of the parents. I told them, we took the stuff out the room. I told them to go to the car and go ahead. The only people who should have still been in the parking lot was my daughter and my son, because they were riding with me.
Who, as director, to have control?
Who was left responsible for your team while you was inside?
My sister was had my daughter in them.
Your daughter in your team?
Huh?
And your team, is your sister a director or coach of the team?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she was there.
So, Kevin, do you have any feedback of what happened last night?
I've already said what I had to say. I'm done.
You know what, Jazz? I want to say to Kevin and Josh, as many years we've known them, and they judge fairly. Even compete with them. We never, I don't care if you win or lose. It never got to this point where
have you ever known us to be violent?
Never.
Have you ever, you know us personally, right? Have you ever had a history behind our to be violent?
No.
Draw ever, right?
No.
And that's when you go back.
And so essentially and I've never heard TDAD be violent either. The thing about what is transpiring is what I'm hearing is that, again, Fallon, Baby girl, you have a track record.
No, y'all crazy. It's not that
No.
I have a track record. It's that y'all have a
You
manipulator.
have a track
Y'all
record.
believe
You
anything
have
somebody
you.
tell you.
Wait a minute.
Just,
Wait a
just as
minute.
well
Wait
as
a
the gun
minute.
situation.
Wait a
Y'all
minute.
put the gun
Wait a
situation out
minute.
there as if y'all seen me with the
Fallon.
gun,
Wait a
and when the
minute.
video was
Wait a
presented,
minute.
and then it
Fallon.
was
Fallon. You talk.
that they
Fallon.
said
You
she
talking
had
to
the gun when it was
Fallon?
somebody else who pointed a gun at them. I wasn't even in the building when the gun was pointed.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till she get done.
You know what, Jasmine? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be blunt. Yes, I was called many faggots. Everybody was called many faggots. But the thing, at the end of the day, us gay people, we were the ones that helped the majorette community. We were the ones that stepped in when nobody else wanted to step. So the thing, we as the LGBT community, we made that platform for other people, straight, gay, bi, or whatever. We made that platform to able to go out here and build a majorette team. We did that. So if it wasn't for us, I'm going to speak because it's irritating me because they look down on gay people every single competition, and it hurts me personally knowing that I love something that I do with my girls, and people just like, damn, oh, a gay person this, a gay person that. That shit, it literally hurts. So you get look.
But you know what about this though, Reese? And that's why I say you guys just hold on. Y'all hold on. If I can't tell y'all nothing else, y'all hold on. Because baby, the changes that's about to happen in this majorette community is going to blow a lot of people's minds. I'm telling y'all that right now. Because I'm sick of it. And I feel like if so many people follow Shaddi Tea, if so many people follow the platform, I try to bring awareness to everything that's going on because I feel it's a need for people to know what's going on and a need for people to understand there's certain teams and there's certain people that you cannot accept to your competition. There is certain people out there that's throwing on competitions that should not even be throwing on competition. They don't have the know-how. They don't have the training. They just think that putting up a flyer and a piece of doggone cash prize is going to really solidify them as being a competition producer, and it doesn't.
Right.
Then you got people that'll just add Uncle Charlie and Sister Susie Q on a judges panel when they don't have no type of background whatsoever. I'm sick of the same song and dance.
Right.
So if we are going to make our majorette community better, I'm going to just be transparent. It is up to the LGBT community to step in. It is up to us to step in. It is up to us to take our community back and make it what it's supposed to be, something positive, something uplifting, and something that we can look forward to going to every single competition.
Right.
It's got to change. And it's going to change. Because again, at the end of the day, if we want to yell and scream about it's for the kids, then why in the hell is people bringing guns? So something does not, I'm telling y'all, it don't sit right in my spirit. Because out of all places, why would someone bring a gun to a competition?
Right.
It don't sit right. Out of all places that you could point a gun at somebody, why would you sit there and bring a gun and point it to somebody random? It's something don't sound right about the story. It's not adding up to me. It's not adding up. I'm sorry. And the fact that, like I said, and I was being transparent, Fallon, she has a track record. She was the same one that was on the news in Richmond County, allegedly had brought a gun to Violent Flames' competition. She swore up and down that wasn't her. She swore up and down that wasn't her. Janie, I don't know what's going on with your thing, but it's not allowing you to come on for some reason. Something is just not adding up.
And a major issue too, Jazz, is that it be law enforcement at these events.
But you know what, baby, Sharika, they don't want to pay, and that's why you have the stuff happening like it is. That's why I said, even with my show, I have completely cut out getting a security company. I don't care if they're armed or not. It's something about people seeing a uniformed police officer. A security can do but so much, even if they're armed.
I agree.
To pull their trigger is the very last thing that's the resort. And the only way they're really going to pull the trigger is if themselves is in harm's way.
Right.
With a police officer, you're going to spend a couple $1,000s. But you're going to spend a couple $1,000s that's worth it, because ain't nobody trying to go to no jail over no doggone stuff that pop up in no competition. Nobody. Especially on the weekend, which means you're not going to see the judge until Monday or Tuesday. And by that time, your people that you done came in town with done already flew back home, and you stuck in the city to where you got to figure out how you getting back home.
Right.
I want to say something, Jazz. So, before the competition, before the awards, this was my baby, the captain.
Now, she's the one that was jumped on?
Yes, ma'am.
Is she okay? You okay, baby?
My baby.
I know she emotional about it. So, hey, sugar.
So, one of the guys had baseball jerseys on that said Bull City. I was like, "Oh, you from Bull City, as in Durham?" We like. He said, "Oh, y'all crime rate must be high. I've been hearing about it." I was like, "Yeah, we just buried brother yesterday, and this is the girls, they're breather. This is where they can let their hair down, and it's on. So we just trying to get away from real life real quick. And then we come to a competition to release all of that, and here we are facing another battle.
Right.
Like, hard. It's hard as a parent. It's hard as being a friend. It's hard because this is what they love to do, and this is supposed to be their comfort zone. We face stuff like, because I do not want any of my kids to just think twice about dancing. This is what they're good at.
It's supposed to be an outlet.
And that's exactly what it's supposed to be. And it's so sad to say, but it's really becoming just too much. It's like people don't want to spend thousands of dollars going to competitions. And honestly, it was beef with all of this long before my comp. That's what Janie said.
Beef with.
That's what she just commented. I don't know what she's talking about.
She said what?
She said, and honestly, it was beef with all of this long before her competition.
We don't know.
It wasn't.
I don't know them. I didn't know this lady from a can of paint. And we and that's some bullshit. Excuse my French. But even when we were in the coaches meeting, everybody was laughing, getting along, and everything, having cordial conversation.
Janie said, "I'm so tired of everyone blaming her comp. I have hosted 12 comps and well, Janie, I'm gonna tell you like this, baby. I asked you to come on. I don't know what's going on if you're not in the Wi-Fi, but you clearly didn't even have a handle on your own competition. This came directly from the judges. You were changing rules. You was having sidebar conversations that no one else had. So you're sitting here like really trying to defend yourself when you have no defense at this point. You have no defense. And you're showing your cards and how you are because you just posted you have sore losers. No, these is people that you, girl, what? Why would you even pull a coach to a side and tell her people are gunning for her team? Even if that was the case, why? What probed you to even have a sidebar conversation at all about that?
But I just want to say, I mean, Jazz, I done been in this majorette game since I was 19 years old. I'm 25 now.
That's crazy.
I think my entrance to majorette wasn't the most pleasant. It wasn't. I was arguing with people, fighting, bickering. I'm an adult now. I'm not childish anymore. And I think people have begun to gravitate towards this idea of beef to take away from my validity as a judge when I've literally sat on the judges panel against my now former team and judge fairly. They didn't win everything.
Janie, I'm not going to ask them any of that. If you want to sit there and ask them, you can come on the live. I sent you the link. So we're not going to do this back and forth in the comment section. If you want to come on and ask this team what you're trying to ask in the comment section, then you're more than welcome to come on and ask them. But what you're asking them about somebody's slow stance has nothing to do with why you were changing scores that pissed teams off that ended up in somebody's child being hurt. You have still, as a director, Miss Burrow, after you claim that you have thrown on 12 competitions, which I've never heard of your competitions a day in my life. Why is you as a producer did not call this team that was hurt? Sounds fishy to me. sounds very fishy to me that you as a host want to come on the comment section and rant and rave about all this one. Could they even do the slow stands? What does a slow stand have to do with the child being hurt? Nothing at all. You as a producer should have been the first person to call that team as soon as you find out, because I know that you knew, to tell them, I am so sorry. Instead, what did you do? Take your little coins, pocket your coins, and you took your ass home. I don't get it. No matter how fair, how good you try to be, it's always Janie girl. Okay, I'm not even gonna go back and forth with her because yeah, she said every coach had rules, and only time any rules was changed is when she called the coaches to the floor.
That's fine when it came to the whole rules thing, but I want clarity. What was the prior? Because we have never competed with this. We don't know these people. The most we do is we do the representation video. We send it to someone, they combine it, and that's how we see their faces, and that's it. So there wasn't any prior beef unless she's for the judges or something, but we don't know them.
But
Yeah.
even with the judges, we don't have no. I don't have no beef with nobody.
No.
Whenever I'm sitting on the judges table, I have to wipe away every negative or every positive incident and judge what you put on the floor. And that's what I'm saying. You cannot take away from people's validity and professionalism when it comes to sitting at the judges booth. It was the 3 qualified judges are sitting right here on this live right now. And we
So
don't
who
have
got
beef
the
with them.
beef?
I know they're not talking about beef with Fallon when we was kicking at the competition.
Let me help y'all also understand this, because she's saying that she's getting bashed. Baby, at the end of the day, this is your judges that you selected is the ones that's telling what actually happened.
Yeah, we're not bashing her. It's just the facts of the facts.
This is what happened at your show. So facts is facts. So what you're calling bashing is what they're saying actually happened. So I'm sorry that you feel that that's bashing, but I'm telling you, you don't got no business in this major community. So I'm glad you and your coaches decided to go ahead and push back, because this right here don't make no type of sense at all. At all. She said, I never changed shit without all of their consent. What consent?
So basically, it just our problem. We have the rules, whatever it may be. But for that to be coming up, that must have been what the other team issue was. Right. So of course they felt that they was
confused.
Had a problem. They was waiting on my baby to come outside. Period.
No, and then in junior stage, Kevin, when it came down to the 2 teams, Kevin selected their, and we that chin up, even though we thought, but Kevin did not show no favoritism. So favoritism was not an issue.
Yeah. Kevin, I think what Janie is missing, and this is somebody that what Janie is missing is, regardless of the fact, as a judge, if you come to us as is this being your competition and you tell us that this is what you want to do, we're not going to say no, don't do it. Because obviously
you're not gonna say that, Josh.
You've had conversations with all the coaches.
But like I told y'all last night, Josh, too, if you already seen it with you, Keisha, and Kevin, if you already seen it go left, exactly what my mom said, there has to be accountability from several areas. If a judge that was unqualified, if y'all heard that the 2 other judges was unqualified, and y'all heard what they said, they were not qualified, that was y'all point to sit there and say, call the competition to a complete halt. Why are we sitting on a judges panel with 2 unqualified? She cannot run no show without judges. She can't have a show without judges. So if y'all would have said, I promise if that was me, I would have looked at both y'all and I said, you know what, we're not about to do this. We're not sitting on a judges panel.
What I say? What I say? We're not doing it. What I say? I was like, y'all, we need to keep these things on the panel.
But I'm saying though, the fact that still remains is y'all still continue to judge it when y'all should have. When y'all seen the stuff was not adding up, and Keisha said that she had seen stuff getting ready to go left, and then she heard what the judge said. The unqualified judge got in it, and in case you did not hear, she said it's hard to find qualified judges when judges know every team and teams come and they think judges don't like. No, it's not hard to find qualified judges. It's not. It's not hard to find qualified judges.
No. But see, this is the issue today. People don't want to pay for qualified judging.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is. They do not
That's
want to pay for those
that's
qualified judges.
that's the issue. People don't want to pay for quality.
And
That's
not only
it.
that, everybody is going off and he say, she say, ain't no beef in this majorette community with Joshua. Ain't no beef with, like, nobody is beefing with anybody. However, people have their own perceptions of situations.
Okay, so
And
let
I
me let, let
think
me
what
let, let me
happened,
let me address this. Janie said all I could do was bet. All I could do is what's best. And I called all coaches. They either agreed or not. So am I the one to blame? You are. Because you could have called Jamar, you could have called Quincy Oliver, you could have called LaKendrick,
You could have
you
called.
could have called Andre.
You could have called a
It's
lot.
a plethora of judges that would have taken a booking. A
But you
plethora.
have to pay them. You have
And
to.
you have to pay them. They're not going to come because you're going to feed them a cheeseburger and some Sprite. They're not coming for that. You're going to have to pay for their gas, their transportation, their hotels. Again, you have to put out to get back. If you are trying to do the bare minimum, you're saying I tried and no. The reason that they didn't come was because whatever you was positioning them to give them, whatever it may have been. Let me ask this question: Keisha, Kevin, and Josh, were y'all paid? That's the question. Because I don't want to know. Were y'all paid?
I'm
Yes
not
or
going to
no?
sit here and lie. Yes.
Y'all were paid.
I can speak for myself.
Okay,
Yes.
Josh said yes, he was paid. Kevin, were you paid?
Yes.
Keisha, were you paid?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she
And
paid the
Jane, you are on
$3
Shaddi Tea Live calling me a bitch. You ain't making yourself look any better, boo boo. And this live ain't going nowhere.
This is not an attack on her. This is not an attack. It's more so
It's not an
trying
attack
to
on her. It's
put it out
addressing
so
what
you
happened
can do
and
better.
lack thereof of her competition.
It's not an
So
attack.
she's taking offense to it, but you're the one that was changing rules the day of.
We didn't receive a phone call, although I know we was going back to Durham, so that was 2 hour drive. I mean, it would have been nice, y'all making home, common courtesy. We didn't get none of that.
It would have been
On
nice.
top of what had happened.
Right.
The DJ called us.
Yeah, the DJ. Thank your DJ. Thank your DJ.
Girl, I
And
know we talked.
and the and the judges.
All in all,
So,
Jack, it was a heartbreaking situation. Like it went from bad to worse in a matter of 25 seconds.
but
And it
Jane, you
did
going
not
back
have
and
to.
forth now because first you just said that you and your coaches decided that y'all not doing major competitions no more and y'all going to go and let it go. Now you're saying you're not going anywhere, girl. Now you pissing me off because you all in this comment section beating up the keyboard, and I've already sent you a link to come on. And you talking about always bashing. It was your show. You were the one that clearly your person came up here and said that you pulled them out of the teams that was there. You pulled them to the side. You pulled her to a side and told her, I don't give a fuck what them judges say. Ain't that what she said? This is my competition. That's what she said you said. You didn't, but girl, I ain't never did your show, so I don't know who you talking about. Even when y'all came, I treated y'all fairly because baby, I ain't never did your show. I don't know who you are. So you can't be talking about Jay Heat. Because Jay Heat don't do everybody's competitions, and that's on the Bible.
You know what? They say that.
And this isn't the first competition. Like we support Janie. This isn't the first time we attended one of her shows. So I don't know where all this is coming from.
Just doing it for is saying that you throw me under the bus, knowing that my name rings bells in the major community, and you sit here and throw me under the bus because you in your feelings. That's fucking sad.
Keisha, I want to make sure I give Keisha a chance because Keisha's been up here and she's been waiting patiently. Keisha, what is your feedback of what happened last night? Because you were the other judge.
My feedback mainly would be stop the sidebar conversations because we sitting over at the judges table and you could clearly see Janie and the coach from NLED, the female director who owns the team. They're over there having a conversation, but in the midst of it, the whole stand battle came to a halt because of the conversations. And now you have coaches at the DJ booth, and then on top of that, it was the audience behind us. Like, well, what's going on? What's up with all the conversation over there? Like, what is she trying to change? and we were just as clueless as everybody else in there. And it just came up like, oh, well, she was trying to change the rules to appease fellow
Certainty.
ballerinas because that bus driver was threatening to leave them. And all the coaches felt like it was unfair. So that right there just made the tension inside the gym even thicker. Like you could just tell something was brewing. Whether or not it was going to be the fight outside, 9 times out of 10, they was gonna beat Jamie ass inside that gym. And like I had to tell her, like, you need to
Oh,
hurry up,
Jamie,
get
baby,
these
one
people
thing
going
about it,
because
I'm
it's
not
gonna
going
be
to
a
toot my
fight.
own horn. Give me a second, Keisha. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I definitely want to make sure I address your comment. Look, I said what I had to say on all situations. If I'm such a bad person, then leave me alone on the real and do better than me. Baby, you ain't got to tell me that. That's all I'm going to say. Continue.
Yeah, so it was like
NLED,
it was tension.
NLED coach is on, and he definitely wants to stay here. So let me. I'm sending you a request right now.
Hey,
You want me to continue?
Go ahead, baby.
we won second place in tag team to give our trophy. It was broken.
Now who tore up y'all trophy?
In the middle of the chaos, it was broken. But we won second place in Twisted Tag Team.
Come on, Mom.
Second place. This
NLED, I'm about to add you, babe. Check your inbox.
first place in Creative. Rep your city. And then, baby, it won't even fit in the camera, but you see it. We're the grand champs, baby. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we had a hard time getting this thing home, but y'all want where we at? Oh no. There we go. We thank you guys for your participation.
You have to send me I am the undefined. I think you have to send because I don't think you're my friend on Facebook. You have to send me a request. I am undefined.
What was crazy to me was whenever the Jamie and NLED was having their exchange in the floor. I don't know what was going on there. One of the judges ended up leaving, so it was now 4 judges on the panel.
Check your message request. I just sent it to you.
But
It was 4 judges on the panel whenever that whole situation was happening, and it was an even number. So we had to nothing like the entire competition came to a halt, and we tried to get out of there. Like we had already been there past the time. It was crazy. I had to get up on the bike.
So this is what I'm confused about. Okay, this this is what I'm confused about. You have the sidebar conversations with Fallon, but you over here throwing her on the bus and talking about the police has videos of the guy next to you shooting.
But no, but see that he keeps trying to pin it on them. We don't not know who the shooter is.
We never said it was Fallon.
Yeah, and
we don't know.
But why is she putting it all on them?
Y'all, this is asinine to me. This is asinine to me. Now we just done. I'm not who they making me to be, and I hate this shit because I'm a very good and fair person. Half the teams think they were supposed to win, and when shit don't go their way, they make up shit and do this shit.
But to be honest with you, you can't be a fair person all the time. No shade. You gotta when you make rules, you just gotta stick and abide by those rules.
Exactly. Because it's the point where it's like, what's the point of having an order in a competition? What's the point of having a competition if you're not going to stick to your rules? If you're telling me that I'm supposed to have X, Y, and Z in this certain routine, why am I not being stuck? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, come on.
You have to make rules and stick to them because
come on,
a lot
baby.
of people...
Introduce yourself to the group. With you on the platform, go ahead and introduce yourself to the group, Sugar.
Is that Antoine?
From NLED?
Yeah.
Okay.
Swan. Is you on, Swan? Because, honey, I see you up here, but I don't see you up here. Swan. Oh, Swan. Hold on. Let me remove you out the stream. Okay, then I'm gonna put you back in. Okay. Hello, Swan.
Oh, no, that ain't Swan.
Oh, no. That's not Swan.
I'm head coach Mario.
Oh, hey, Mario.
Hey y'all.
With your Thickums Adams apple. Come on, tell us what you got to say.
Okay, so I've been paying attention. Um, my issue or my response to all of this is that it was a lot going on, and it's not that I don't think it was really the sidebar conversations as long as it didn't have anything to do with the competition. But when the rules started changing, my director as well as to my other coach who was not dancing while I was dancing needed an understanding so that they could tell me. So to keep their eyes and ears peeled on everything. So I know what I need to do on the floor. Because in any competition I've ever been in, we've had to adjust at any time something changes. And I just feel like a lot of stuff should not be changing at the competition. Maybe before, yes, but as long as those rules are set, and especially during the coaches meeting, once they're set, they're set. Nothing else should be changing. No matter if somebody has to leave, no matter if somebody gets hurt, whatever happens. We just have to keep it pushing through the show. And the situation that took place happened with a parent from South Carolina with the host. That had nothing to do with us. Those parents felt like that situation was going all the way wrong, and she wasn't in control of her show. The parent asked her, "Whose show was it? Is it the judge's show or was it her show?" Because it seemed like nobody was really running the show appropriately. Josh, I commend you for standing up and really just stepping in. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you seem like the only person who did know what they was doing because that show was not being ran correctly. And I felt like me being on the floor with my girls, it wasn't my place to say nothing about some stuff that was going on because at that point, I'm not a coach, I'm a dancer. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't feel like I needed to step up when I had other people already put in place for me.
But Varia, I already had a conversation aside from this with Josh, and I told Josh he got to stop doing that. Josh he's hard-headed. I told him to stop stepping up because at the end of the day, again, she paid you to do one job and one job only, and that was to judge. If she did not know how to run her show, let her ass fall on her face. Let her fall on her face. True. You don't get up out your seat and help no damn body. Help run their show when they take in the bulk of the coins that they charge all these damn people. I'm not doing nothing but what's in my job description. You want me to do anything else? Bitch, you better pay me. Because I'm not doing it.
Right. And my director and what's her name, Janie?
It could have went left because Josh could have gotten hurt. Any of the judges could have gotten hurt behind someone that did not know what they were doing.
Or what was going on. Because everybody was only speculating about what was going on. Nobody really knew what was going on. Because when it came to that coaches meeting, we were told that none of the teams were supposed to be next to we was not supposed to approach the judges table, or we weren't supposed to be by the judges table, nor was we supposed to go overtime or cross the line. Those were the main rules that was placed in place. And I just feel like if we were supposed to be disqualified, then we should have been disqualified. If another team was supposed to have been disqualified, they should have been disqualified. Props or no props. It's a lot of things that took place. And if you got down to the last person in your competition, they was the only person that followed by all of your rules, then so be it. But at least you stood your ground by your rules.
That's true. That's true.
I never ever done a hand battle when there were just two singers thrown in the whole entire. Never have I ever done that. Ever. There was only two hands that were thrown for senior sand battle. Period. There wasn't a fast. It wasn't because the judges. It was because of James changing the rules. One fast and one slow. The whole entire senior stands. When they got to us, everybody else throwing 2 or 3 stands, but when they got to us, the other team, it was only like stands to throw the whole entire.
Let alone the music they used, music, and the music kept while the kids were still dancing. This wasn't our team; it was other teams.
Now that is something that me, Kevin, and Keisha could have spoke on. Was that they were cutting out the music from the time point. Like the packet said that the music, you all had a minute and 30 seconds after the first 8 count was thrown. They were cutting the music off at a minute and 15 seconds. And we sit on the judges panel like, what are you doing?
Because what I heard was
Right.
the DJ.
Which
You heard what?
they do.
DJ judges panel that you guys were using 2 different time clocks. That was the
No. No, listen. And see, this is where that guys got up at the same time. From what and see, this is one thing you have to have knowledge about sport, or stuff like this will happen. They were basing the times off of when they turned that music on, and they said it was 8 seconds after the music started. And I even that is bogus. A team will do it clean, but you actually start counting when everybody dances together.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't
And
start your time until everybody starts moving.
right. And see, and that's why I got up and guys got up because I said they are still dancing and you're cutting their music off and that's making them think that they're over time when actually they're not. The actual host was trying to say no, they was over. Go back there, you walk to our table, clear timing it, and you can see where they are. And that's why I kept getting up because it was frustrating me because as an actual director as well as a coach as well, we time our stance so we know not to go. And I said it's making. I think NLE was this went the music cut off on them, and
Yeah.
that's when I was like, no, it's a problem. And then they was about to do it, and it happened to everybody else. So we had to go up there and correct them. They're trying to say it was the music. No, somebody stopped that music.
And what was the whole
Exactly.
thing about they saying that Fallon? I got something back that Fallon was taking her phone over there and telling the DJ to play this song instead of the
Oh,
song list that was sent out because
let me
now
quick.
what was that? What was that all about?
I got you on. So the thing was, she was over there at the DJ's booth stating that she'll pay the DJ to play a certain song for them. But baby, it's not in the packet. It's not in the song list. So why are you paying the DJ to play a certain song for your team only?
Well, no. In offense to them, the dark skinned girl who was dating them did not have the list, and Alaska had the list. She wasn't trying to pay anybody, but she gave them the list only because instead of having music downloaded onto your laptop,
Right.
they were playing from YouTube, as we heard. The person.
Lord, y'all
So,
better get
so,
off my phone.
so,
So she,
so
so
I'm saying in offense, like
And
wait.
yeah, it wasn't. Alaska
So
was the only
so
one
the
that put up
DJ
the
did not have
list.
to stand by the song list.
yeah, she was the only one who took the actual list over there
Girl, no,
because
the dude was
like,
trying to play it off his phone. And he kept saying, I have to stop it at a minute and a half.
see.
But and that's fine. When it comes to you're supposed to start the song over so that kids can have the same beat that the last kids had. They have the same little breaks that the other team had. Let them feel the beat and they start dancing. No, when one team was done, they hit play for them to feel the rest of the song. That's not how you do it. Of course, some
No.
came out there
It
who
it was no shit. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad to the point where we had to be like, let us do stand battle because y'all don't know what y'all doing and y'all about to cause a riot. Like it stopped on NLED, it stopped on Bella, it stopped on Dynasty, it stopped on every single team's music stopped, and we have to as judges be like, this is not gonna fly. That's not how you do this.
And you know what, Jasmine? It was more on the judges. They were blaming the judges. They shouldn't even blame the judges for the music or anything like that. It wasn't the judges at all. It was the DJ. Don't blame your judge. Don't blame the judges. They're doing their job.
It actually wasn't the DJ, it was the host because the DJ literally was like, the DJ was like, it's not me, they're
Janie,
stopping
you
the
can try to
music.
come on now. You just have to be connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it was the guy that was hosting the show. He was playing the music from off his phone. So when he got to 1:30 on his phone, he kept cutting it off. So
exactly.
we kept saying, why are y'all cutting off the music? Because in your rules it say do not start the timer until after the first 8 count. So we let the captain through the stand, and then we counted when the team came in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and started the timer because this is what you told us in your rule packet in our separate group chat. So that's what we did. But when they kept stopping the music, we were like, well, what's going on? And then they kept saying, well, she was like, the lady from NLED, she keeps saying that Bella Ballerinas went over their time. They went over their time. We was like, no, neither one of them went over their time. And she was like, well, she's saying they went over their time. We was like, well, that's not what we have over here, because I was writing down everybody's time on the clipboard. So every time somebody went around, I was like, this is their time, this is their time. So we knew. So when she came over there, we showed her. She was like, okay, well, they didn't go over time. I said, yeah. I said, but I don't know what y'all are clocking over there, because somebody's not timing right over there at the DJ booth. We kept telling her, but it was just like, okay, well, we still gonna continue to just run the show. And then it ended up in a whole mess that could have just been resolved if
Avoid it.
rules were clear from the beginning.
And if you actually were knowledgeable about the sport, you would know. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you how Stand Battle should run. If you've done so many shows, you should know this by now. I'm
Cause
sorry.
honey, she said she had about 12 shows she done did.
I'm sorry. And that's because
So
there
you
was
would have think that your packet would have been up to par by now and not missing stuff.
right. I mean, because if that was my team, I would have been heated. Like,
Right. And some songs wasn't
Cause
even
I've been
medium.
throwing
Like
those
they were
shows for
fast.
15.
Like them
I've been
fast
throwing those
jersey
shows for
mixes.
15 years, and I guarantee you ain't gonna find no glitch out that packet, and it ain't gonna be no one sheet registration or one sheet packet. It's gonna be a couple of them helpers. You got about 6 to 8 pages in my packet because I want to make sure you got everything that you need.
And then I just
And
want
I
to say
still
this.
got to add some more shit when I get closer to the event. But the teams know, they know. But
And
I'm
if you
not
don't
gonna
know how to
change those
type,
rules at no day of no show to appease nobody. I'm sticking to what the hell is in my packet.
and if you don't know how to type, and if you don't know how to proofread, you can pay somebody to create your packet for you that's very grammatically
They don't
explained.
want to pay, Josh. That's the thing. These people
Child.
do not want to come out their pocket ahead of time, but want to take the max benefit at the end of the night. That's the issue. There is no, there is no, there's no other way to put it.
Well, if you don't know how to do a competition, sit the hell down and leave it to the professionals. And
On
that's
the
on period.
Bible, on the Bible,
And that's on
I promise
period.
that.
Because I
I
can't
promise.
save no more shows.
But I'm gonna say this.
According
I'm
to
gonna
Jazz,
say
I
this
can't
because
save no
I'm
more
gonna wrap this
shows. I'm
up.
not saving these shows no more. I'm not saving these hoes no more.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up though because I don't want to take too much of the time. I want to relax because y'all this done made my head hurt. I've told Reese and I've told again the rest of the majorette community, you cannot put your team in everybody's show.
What's the
You
line? All
cannot
money
put
ain't
you
good money.
cannot put
To be
your
honest,
team in everybody's show. With that, let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
It's Showtime Live on the Sands. August 20th through the 21st, 2021 in the sunny Miami, Florida. With special guest Janae Harrington. With combined categories, walkthrough, Caribbean Creative Pom-Pom, Mini Junior Combined Stage, Senior HBCU Stage, Parent Coach Back. With thousands of dollars in cash prizes up for grabs. Hosted by the amazing Lady J. Meet us at the Hyatt Regency Miami, August 20th through the 21st, 2021. Tickets available at eventbrite.com. Search It's Showtime live on the Sands, Miami. You don't want to miss it.
And just a quick update to that video. Trina has accepted another booking, so she actually will not be with us. Lady Jazz got her coins back, and she did. So we're gonna shoot for another celebrity guest for the next show, the next championship show, because that's not it. Do we have any last minute closing remarks before we wrap up this live?
To Josh and Kevin for judging this competition, the way y'all do, because y'all have Josh, Kevin, and Keisha, y'all judge this competition the way y'all supposed to. I really thank you for this, and Dynasty we love y'all. We support and we stand on our good, and you always get support from us. And at the end of the day, when you put God first, anything is possible, and that's what you should always do.
And we're gonna also thank Dad for allowing us to have
Yes,
like this where we can kind of get some sense of a closure. Not really much of a. I'm still upset, having a platform like this where we can come together to speak about these situations that need to be changed in this community.
And one thing I want to say, um, I done been, they do judge fairly, no matter what, how much they judge fairly. If they think we on it, they don't think they would definitely
tell us.
know that, and they would pick no go team. Like no hard feelings is what it is.
Someone just commented, how can someone who has a team start a blacklist? Who's blacklisting your team or comps? No shade, I'm just concerned. Well, I'm going to address that, Kia Kaya, however you say your name, sweetie. In case you don't know, because I've never seen your name pop up on Shaddi Tea in the majorette community. Obviously, you're someone of a follower of a random anonymous person. I don't know you, but I'm glad that you're here. The way that I'm going to start the blacklist is basically there's going to be an association that's going to be created. People have to pay their quarterly dues in order to be in an association. One good thing about being in the association is it's going to be association accredited, which means that any show that is thrown on within the organization is going to be fair, safe, with qualified judges, where we don't have to worry about the safety of kids being our concern. Okay. So we want to make sure that everybody that's in the association is protected. Well, guess what? If you're not in that association and you have a bad rap with your team and you go to shows and you start up jump wherever you go, that is going to be the start of the blacklist. Once your team is placed on the blacklist, you are placed on the blacklist for quite some time. We haven't given the ins and outs about the blacklist because that's not none of y'all business unless y'all become a part of the association. But because you asked, I'm going to address it. If you're placed on the blacklist, your team will not be involved at any shows that association throws on. And if they want to throw on a show, they're more than welcome to throw on their own show, but they won't be allowed to join that show in that association. This is also going to be going for teams that's in association. If there is a specific team, let's just say Heavy Hitters of Richmond, Virginia isn't a part of the association. Well, since they're a part of the association, if they decide to throw in a competition, the teams that's in association can go and support her team. Her team competing at her show, knowing it's going to have the panel of people that's on the board, it's going to also be the judges. I hope that clarifies your question. Anything else?
For LED, man, I want to applaud y'all, to be honest. You were amazing. Y'all was amazing out there. And the rest of the teams, y'all was amazing. It wasn't nothing, I at least expected, I overlooked. Everything was awesome. Everything was awesome. So still want to congratulate y'all for going there and putting y'all working, into this competition. Even things happen, but at the end of the day, in the major community, if we come together, we'll stay together. We'll stay connected. We'll be a family as one. So that's what we got to do in the major community. If we keep doing coming together, being sisterhood, brotherhood, we can do that. We can build from there. So, if we can do that, we'll be fine.
She said there have been many teams that you don't. Thank you, Reese. There have been many teams that you don't like, though. So how can they get into the association? You have called out many teams and been into it with many teams, from competitions to uniforms. That's not fair to them. Let me address that, sweetheart. Okay. If they've been on the Shaddi Tea platform, that is still in conjunction with my association. Because guess what? Evidently, there was some shady stuff that was going on. So I don't see fit that they're going to be beneficial to the association. They will not be allowed to enter in. Thank you so much for that question, though. Again, Shaddi Tea is Shaddi Tea, and Lady Jazz is Lady Jazz, and it's Showtime is Showtime, and so forth and so forth. But again, yes, you are right. There have been many teams that have been brought onto Shaddi Tea. Why? Because they have done some shady stuff. So why would I allow a team that has been on Shaddi Tea unless they can really, really, really tell me that their actions and their directors and their parents have turned from their wicked ways? Why would I even want them in the association? Come on, it's common sense. So don't ask me a question That's common sense. If they've been on Shaddi Tea, why would I allow them to be in an association? Why?
Not only that, Jazz, I just want to point out, she said that you don't like. Please let these people know personal and professional are two different things.
Say that again, Josh.
I said that please let these people know personal and professional are two different things.
Very
you
different.
liking a team has nothing to do with whether they have a good rep or not. Because there are some teams that have a bad rep that I'm sure you probably still like. So association is not biased. Emotions have to come out of it. It's not
and
personal.
that's where
it's
they
business.
get it messed up at, Josh. That's the part that they get it messed up at, because they do have coaches out there that sit on the judges panel and that are biased to certain teams because they either beat their team or vice versa, whatever the case may be. That's not going to be going on. We don't have to have these issues. Whatever team is sitting, whatever judge is sitting on a panel is either going to be a judge that formerly had a team that no longer has a team, or is it going to be coaches that are very well known in the major community and that's are respected, that we can trust their judgment. Simple as that. You've been on Shaddi Tea platform with your competition, though, when people were complaining about your competition, you brought them yourself. I sure did. And she's talking about the Denver show. So let me go ahead and address that. See, this is what she wants to throw shade and say it's not shade. Baby, there's no respect of person when it comes to Shaddi Tea. If I feel like, but the reason why I brought my stuff on Shaddi Tea, sweetheart, since you want to follow, because I don't even know you. But since you want to go ahead and bring this stuff to an end, Miss Kai, let me tell you, the reason why I brought it was because there was lies that were being told. So it wasn't that I brought on my own competition to the platform. No. It was fights that were happening outside of my competition. They had absolutely nothing to do with my competition. But because it was teams that was involved in my competition, that's the reason why I brought it on. So do you have anything else that you would like to even insinuate? Because that's the only thing you're doing right now. Now you're about to get the bitch. What else do you have to say?
Yeah, just like you took ownership. You took ownership for stuff that happened
like,
at your
I don't
competition.
Get this shit. Like, what are you talking
what's
about?
the point of her even bringing it up?
Hey, hold on.
She bringing up shit.
Is that who?
Like what's the point? Get off.
Who is that?
Jamie.
Is that Janie?
Girl, I know she ain't over there looking like, girl, I was about to say something.
Jasmine, honestly, I really feel like a lot of this stuff really could have been avoided if those other two ladies was not sitting at the end of that table. And it was, it could have just been better. It was just crazy.
The organization.
Right.
Hasn't she been on Shaddi Tea before? Because her eyeballs look very familiar. Hasn't she been on Shaddi Tea before? I gotta scratch, but she looks very familiar. I don't forget. I'm serious. I don't forget eyeballs like that. I'm real talk. I think she been on Shaddi Tea before. I've never seen nobody's eyeballs like that. Y'all think I'm being so dead ass serious? Like I would not forget that. Real talk, like she's like, girl. Okay.
Josh, go ahead. Stop.
I was just saying. Let me be clear. Just because I'm Lady Jazz's mom does not mean I don't take to her ass. That's what my mom meant to say. She said task but ass on certain things that she does that I feel the need to be addressed differently or have a different lens of perspective. Yeah, she does. My mom, yeah, she definitely goes there. But you guys,
wait a minute. Hold on. You didn't. What? Okay. But no. As far as everything, everybody did a great job, and definitely, honestly, I'll definitely consider that.
Tell them to mute that mic.
Reese, mute your mic. We don't want to hear what she got to say. She should have said what she had to say on the live.
Hold up, sis. Hold up. You said what, sis?
Hold on, like
she's on live, but she should have had to say what she had to say on the live.
No, mute it.
Oh, she on there crying? I know she's not crying.
Yes, sis.
I do remember her.
Stop.
I do remember her. I do remember her. They said Janie spilling the tea on the fight.
She wasn't even outside.
So how she spilling the tea? Champagne, how she spilling tea? She wasn't outside.
At 10 o'clock, my show was over at midnight. So how
Judges, how is she to talk about discussion?
It was your show.
Girl. Look
I
at
would
y'all.
this.
Okay.
Are we gonna do this? Because if we're gonna go there, it's Sunday. I don't went to church. I got time. I'm ready.
And I haven't went to church, so I got time.
If she wants to do that, because for one, I already have an issue because a lot could have been avoided if the correct communication was given to a set team. And then that's what brought my name into it as well as Joshua's name into it. And you can't do my character that way because I don't play it that way. And like he said, these sidebar conversations, she was telling us things that she went. So if we're going to get into that conversation, I need to have her on this live. I got time today, and I know this. I don't do this, but today I will do this.
Well, I invited her on. She's saying that her volume wasn't working, but she's on her own live, so I don't understand how her volume is working.
All right. Well, look. Anyway, congratulations, All Stars. Just like they said, the last competition, I told them the pieces. They did what needed to be done, and they came back and they corrected what I corrected. Everybody having judges fairly.
Right.
Don't mind you, I've known Rika, I've known Reese, and Denise since 2017. And if I was gonna, and nothing was rigged, because if they were judging my team, I would prefer them tell me the truth. If they look like trash, tell me they look like trash, so I know what to do.
Right, Josh, she going off on you.
On me?
Who?
Yes. She's literally off on you.
Yes.
Okay.
Me.
See, Josh, didn't I tell you to sit your ass down somewhere? Didn't I tell you to sit down somewhere? Now look how she turning on your ass.
Okay, so
I mean it's okay though, because my whole thing is I'm not in a place anymore to where I have to validate my character.
No, you don't. But I'm just
I know who I am.
You should have damn sat your ass
knowing I can go to bed at night knowing I did right by all of those children who were there and who were impacted. At the end of the day, what a grown adult who clearly is on the defense has to say but wasn't able to come on this live and speak about, it's showing who you are, sweetheart. I'm not 19-year-old Josh no more. I'm not gonna argue with you. And at the end of the day, the only reason why your show did end up getting together at the end was because of Joshua. Joshua was gonna sit his ass down and not doing nothing for nobody no more. It is what it is.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up with this. My mom always likes to do these tabletop closers. So.
I love your mama. I love
yes, we love mama.
We love your mama.
He said, "What are the lessons learned and what are the teachable moments?" So, what do we basically take away from? What are y'all takeaways from the judge's standpoint, and then what are takeaways from TDAD?
If you're not a credible team that actually has a credible or an award-winning team, do not ask me to judge. And if you can't pay me my fee, find somebody else. That's it. I'm done.
Joshua, what are your takeaways?
That I'm the baddest bitch and I'm gonna remain the baddest.
Oh
bitch.
my gosh, Josh!
No, I'm just kidding. No, my honest takeaway is that having a heart to help doesn't mean you should always use your heart to help. Number one, and then number two, it's when you remain true to who you are, you have nothing else to worry about.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Keisha, what's your takeaway or comments response to this?
My response or my takeaway is next time I walk into a building whether my team is competing or judging, if ain't no security / police officers around and walk back out, because last night could have been avoided. People could have been seriously hurt. And it's just like nobody have no chaos in the world about them kids being outside, whether they was fighting, shooting, and the tasing part is not allowed, because when I got back to my car, my daughter was like that the lady was leaning outside of the car trying to tase people as they was leaving out the damn parking lot. So it was just too much. And yeah,
that sounds like
you
something
need to make
that would take place at a haunted house.
Sure your judges have security to their car, because at the end of the day, any of us could have been jumped walking to that car last night.
Yeah. And what we're going to think, if you don't have a background of of putting on a credible show and credible judges.
In your packet.
Look professional. Your flyer does not look professional. We will not be attending. And
I've been telling y'all black asses that. What you say? What you know? What you know, Sharika? I've been telling y'all asses that. But go ahead.
That's right. That's right. That's real.
But we
know because it came from me. Because it came from me. I know.
We'll be there in February. We'll be there in February, baby.
Okay.
March.
And LED Vario with your cute self. What you got the doggone take away?
He is a little.
Vario came on my live and was serving trade. Y'all learn about that later, honey. He was serving trade, honey. I don't know. I think he just got on Shaddi Tea. I don't know how he but he came on the Shaddi Tea platform giving all of the doggone trade. Come on,
I'm the same.
Come on, Vario.
I'm the same. I ain't changing. My thing is that I've done pretty good so far. I don't do competitions at home due to the fact that I don't want my girls being competitive inside schools or being divided between each other in schools. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want it to become gang affiliated and stuff like that. So I don't do stuff at home. But coming out of town, had I done my research prior to this show, we wouldn't have done this show. Because I didn't look at her Facebook page until after the fact. And that kind of pissed me off myself because I did go on the word of somebody else because we was invited to that show. But next time and for now on, I definitely will do my research.
It ain't gonna be a next time. Y'all, that's how Lord, if I can't preach nothing else, I'm preaching research. That is manifested. Y'all got to research. I don't care who. I want to see your Facebook. I want to see what you post. I want to look at what you look like. Do you look like you got no business throwing on no competition? If you don't look like you got no business throwing on no competition, 99 times out of 100, I'm not coming. No. I'm not doing it. Because I'm not about to be put in no ghetto mess. And what happened Saturday was a ghetto mess.
Yeah, well.
So, again, you guys, I appreciate y'all coming on to State. I'm going to go ahead and close it out with one more of the video, and then I'm going to go ahead and start removing y'all. Thank all y'all for coming on and telling my story. I appreciate you so much.
Thank
you guys
y'all.
being put back into the waiting room.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, babe. All right, and we're going to go ahead and once again end it one more time with the closing of the promo.
It's Showtime Live on the Sands. August 20th through the 21st, 2021, in the sunny Miami, Florida, with special guest Janae Harrington. With combined categories, walkthrough, Caribbean Creative Pom-Pom, Mini Junior Combined Stage, Senior HBCU Stage, Parent Coach Back. With thousands of dollars in cash prizes up for grabs. Hosted by the amazing Lady J. Meet us at the Hyatt Regency Miami, August 20th through the 21st, 2021. Tickets available at eventbrite.com. Search It's Showtime Live on the Sands, Miami. You don't want to miss it.